This song is called When an Engie is Doing His Job, and I'd like to dedicate this to my friends Alaskan Trailer Trash, General Blue, Razor One. The engineer's life is to build sentry guns, dispensers and teleports too. The secrets he knows keeps his enemies froze, learned from Trailer Trash and General Blue. His guns fill his enemies' faces with fear, while he sits around drinking St. Pauli girl beer. And he mops up the blood so the floor doesn't smear when the engie is doing his job. There's fodder for cannon, fresh meat for his gun. He's usually the reason that his team has won. The enemies call him a son of a gun when the engie is doing his job. He defends the base with dispenser and gun. His wrench is the kind that can murder and stun. Well, the engineer has lots of super loud fun. The engie is doing his job. His guns fill his enemies' faces with fear, while he sits around drinking St. Pauli beer. He mops up the blood so the floor doesn't smear when the engie is doing his job. When an enemy comes in, his gun will explode. He's barely got time then to lock and reload. The chattering gun sounds like it's sending Morse code when the engie is doing his job. He can handle an Uber, a scout or a spy. You'll hear his wrench thud in an enemy's eye. Intruders who see him undoubtedly die when the engie is doing his job. His guns fill his enemies' faces with fear, while he sits around drinking St. Pauli girl beer. And he mops up the blood so his floor doesn't smear when the engie is doing his job. He can handle an Uber, a scout or a spy. You'll hear his wrench thud in an enemy's eye. Intruders who see him undoubtedly die when the engie is doing his job. Oh, an engie will cackle and giggle with glee. He dances around, slaps his hand on his knee. He keeps his base safe and enemy free when the engie is doing his job. His teammates can telly all over the place, into the intel room or enemy base. And his shotgun is wasting an enemy's face when the engie is doing his job. Oh, his guns fill his enemies' faces with fear, while he sits around drinking St. Pauli girl beer. And he mops up the blood so his floor doesn't smear when the engie is doing his job.
You got it?